Hey guys, TerrorPUP here. And this mountain of stuff I got when Icewell was having a sale on their ZimaBlades. It was about the time that they were announcing that they had gotten all their money for the ZimaBoard 2. A lot of people were excited. I got pretty excited about this sale because I've always wanted a ZimaBlade. I own, as you can see, the ZimaBoard. In fact, one of my most popular videos is about this little board itself that is a firewall. Right now, I have it unplugged because I'm trying to see how long I can run a virtual server. But this board right here, this was their 2 gig model, and as you can see, I added an Oak Rick case to it, and I am running an inland drive like I always run, and this has pfSense 7.2. Now initially when I started running the Zima board, 6.2 was out, and I had to use the PCI Express slot that was over here enabled to run the card, and it was Realtek drivers. But when 7.2 came out, I was able to get this. So I thought about getting a Zima board too, but I'm going to wait a while. Partly because anything I can do with a Zima board, I could actually buy a inexpensive B-Link or the dumb, Nook and do the same thing. But this right here intrigued me because, one, I really hope they release a ZimaBlade 2, because one, you can install memory on this where the blades you can't. Okay. Two, a lot of people use these for running multiple hard drives. In fact, this box right here, okay, this is 4 hard drives, and excuse me, I don't mean to lean so far, but I actually have 2 4 terabyte drives, and this little SB drive that you see here, this has ZimaOS on it, which you get if you get a Zima cube. Now, will I ever have money for a cube? Probably not. Okay. Will I ever have them as a sponsor? Sure, if they reach out to me, I'll gladly do a sponsorship. But for now, we're going to do this. Okay, and the kit came with power, the adapters for the hard drives, the cable for the hard drives. I'm going to put that over there. This as well. It actually came with 16 gigs of memory, and summertime in Georgia, my beagles are shedding. So 16 gigs and a micro DisplayPort to HDMI, which is nice. I have a longer cable. So first off, I don't see my X-Acto blade. We'll go ahead and get this open up, and we'll pull it out. Okay, and then we'll put in the memory. Zima, I have to admit, they have interesting products, and I really do like their stuff. I wanted this last year. I really did. I know a lot of people, they really thought these were pretty cool. I think some people make them into gaming rigs. I'm going to actually make this into a NAS. The only problem is, where am I going to stick it? Because I don't have space on my main rack. Oh, that's nice. I like that. There's a little book. I love companies that do books. I hate it when they tell you go to a website because it makes it difficult. Alright, there's the actual blade itself. There's a hole here. We're going to lift it up. And it comes with another cable. This is not for two, this is for one. And USB-C. Not sure what the stickers are for, but they're probably in the book. But there's two stickers in there. So we're going to pull them out, put them on top for right now. Okay. And we'll put this down here for right now, and we'll pull out the blade. Now, I can tell you right now, this has a little bit of weight to it. I like things with a little bit of weight. So, it comes with the same PCI Express, like the ZimaBoard. Okay. So, that's good. Whoop. And the interesting part is, I guess, this will slide off. Because I don't see how we're going to get this off. All right. Before we tear it apart, there's our two SATA drives. There's for the power. So let's go ahead and open up just to show you guys the difference. So this is so you can have two connectors. So these two would plug into here with the power for both of these going to here. And then depending on which drive you hook up. Okay, and like I said, I have two SATA drives. There's the PCI Express. On the back side, there's our mini DisplayPort, Ethernet, USB, and a USB-C. Okay, so A and C, both of these are USB. But which is which? So let me see. Hopefully I'm not going to break it. Okay, it does give it a little way. All right, we're going to come back. I don't want to break this on camera, but I am going to get this off, and we're going to go ahead and get the 16 gigs installed. Okay. Okay, so actually, this pops off. Okay. And then once that comes off, there are two screws. One. Okay, let's put this up here. We'll put this here. And we'll get rid of the... I don't know if that's dog hair or my hair. It could be a combination of both. Alright, so unscrew this. Okay. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but yeah, there you go. 16 gigs. It was easy to pull apart and add. Okay. So we'll put that there. And now we'll go ahead and pull this out. Just to show you guys. this is the case. Oh, it's aluminum. Yeah. That's good for two reasons. One, it won't break. Okay, because I really do worry about stuff breaking. Two, the drives, mechanical drives, produce heat. So, you know, we'll get this in there. And we'll get the drives, and then we will have it sit on top, and we will manage it. So we'll go ahead and get the drives in. Okay. Okay. So these are 2 terabyte hard drives, not 4 terabyte hard drives. I only paid $40 for them. They're renewed. So for this project, they'll work fine. And this is the top. Okay. This is where our blade will sit so that we can connect. We'll go ahead and slide this in. Okay. So, the one thing I'm going to do, but I'll turn the camera off, is I got to, because these are renewed drives, I got to screw them in. Okay. Now, the one thing I want to show you guys is to make sure, you want to make sure this is the top so that way the holes will line up. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead. I'll go ahead and hook up this as well. Okay. This is the connector for the SSD drives. Okay. Okay. So we got the connectors in. One thing, if somebody was smart, they would come up with a PCB board that could plug here and plug it in here like a backplane. If you understand what I'm saying, it would look so much better. But we got it together. Now I'm going to grab Ethernet. I'm going to go ahead. I bet you they send like most times, multiple plugs. Yep. So we'll grab the good USA one. One day I guess I should post. If someone's willing to pay postage, I would gladly send those because I don't want to throw them away. All right, USB-C for power. There's the little nook. Should. There we go. Clip like that, and we'll unhook it. So we're going to come back, and then I have over here, because like I said, my capture card is broke. We're going to use this to plug into the back of this. So since I'm going to do that, might as well go ahead and get this ready. And the nice thing about using a KVM, and my KVM's over there, you can see it. Really like that one. It's lasted longer. I bought some that were $40 for 4. And it came with all the cables, but the only problem was after about 6 months it stopped working. So, all right. So go ahead and get that hooked up. Let me go ahead and shut the camera off so I can get everything else hooked up. Okay, so I got ZimaOS installed, and it puts a little client into my taskbar, which is fine, but what you guys can see, okay, is the desktop, and I figured out how to get to the dashboard. And once I got to the dashboard, I went ahead and told it to take those 2 terabyte drives and do RAID 0, and it is giving me 3.59 terabytes free. Right now, the reason we're downloading a lot and my networking graph is going off the charts is because this ZVM is where you can run virtual servers. So I'm actually downloading Windows 11. I'm going to play with it offline. I'll let you guys know how you can do it. But you can click here to go to files, and it will show you what's there. Like this is on the eMMC storage. This is the ones that I rated. Okay. And going back to the dashboard, you can do peer drop, which is like, I guess, Apple's AirDrop, so you can drop files. And then, of course, settings is where you can go through and do your general settings. Like if I don't like this ink wallpaper that they have, I can upload it, a new one. It does show that I am running this on a Blade, and I'm running ZimaOS 1.4. Okay. It does give you a virtual remote network, so if you have a phone, you can install the remote client and you can access it anywhere in the world. I might turn that off just because where we're connecting to. Okay, nothing against Icewell, but I wouldn't even let Synology or TrueNAS or anybody else have access, and that kind of concerns me. And then, of course, we have our apps, which are for the Docker containers. And as you can see here, this does look like CasaOS. That's going to do it for this video. Hey, I'm pretty happy with it. This gives me a kind of like a Zima Cube, but not a Zima Cube. I can actually finally play with ZimaOS. I have been trying to figure out how to create the image file to an ISO file so that I can burn it on Proxmox. It's a little bit of work, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll let you guys, we'll do a follow-up video in 3 months just to show you guys how much I've done with it, because I don't know if you can see it over here in the corner, but I actually have an Argon Eon that runs OpenVault Media. So now I have TrueNAS scale. I got rid of Core years ago. I have OpenVault Media and ZimaOS. So now let's see which one's the better of the storage wars. Until next time, this is TerrorPUP. Peace.